Hello friends, in the last video we have discussed the subspaces of a vector space and homomorphism of a vector space and kernel of homomorphism. So in this video we are going to deal with quotient space. So let's begin with the definition of a quotient space here. So before going to see the quotient space, we know the what is meant by quotient group. If we have a say group G and H is a normal subgroup, right? Otherwise we cannot define quotient group, that we have learned this in group theory, right? Now here, as V is a vector space, we know that as V is a vector space, it is an abelian group with respect to addition, and suppose W is a subspace of that V, then one can say that this W is what? Subgroup of V with respect to addition, right? Now hence we can define, or one can directly say that this V mod W will be what? Quotient group there. Okay, this will be what? Quotient group, because V is an abelian group with respect to addition, right? That's why this V mod W will be a quotient group, right? Now as this V mod W becomes a quotient group, what we want to show? Want to show that this V mod W is a vector space, right? And also one more thing is there, that V is an abelian group, so W is also an abelian group, so quotient group will be also an abelian group, right? So what remains to show that this V mod W forms a vector space? It remains to show here that first of all we need to define the scalar multiplication for this V mod W, and with respect to that scalar multiplication we need to prove the four axioms of vector spaces, right? So first of all, let's see how the elements of quotient group look like. We know that quotient group is what? Quotient group is a collection of all cosets, right? Now here left coset is same as right coset, because in the quotient group we assume that subgroup is a normal subgroup, right? Now as V is a abelian, that's why W is obviously a normal subgroup here. So V mod W contains set of all cosets of the form V plus W. Here V is a abelian group with respect to addition, that's why coset will be look like V plus W here, where the small v is in capital V. In set symbolic form we can write down this V mod W. V mod W is same as what? V plus W, such that V is in V. Now as I have told you that due to the commutativity of V mod W is an abelian group. Now to show V mod W is an vector space, it remains to define first the scalar multiplication. Now one more thing is here, that V mod, as V is a vector space over F, this quotient group, or you can say this quotient, will be a vector space over the same field that we want to show here, but field is fixed here, right? Now let us define the scalar multiplication. For that, consider element alpha in F and V plus W, a coset in V mod W. Then we define the scalar multiplication as like this: alpha into V plus W. We just multiply this alpha with V only, okay? Because if we multiply, suppose if we multiply this alpha with W, what will happen? You will get again W, because W is a subspace, and if you multiply any scalar to the all elements of W, you will get elements of W only. That's why here alpha into V plus W is same as alpha V plus W. This is the defined scalar multiplication. Now the most important thing is here, that as this V mod W contains cosets. Coset means what? It contains classes, right? It contains classes. Now want to show that this scalar multiplication is well defined. Why? Because for if we change the representative of classes, If we change the representative of classes, then that multiplication, that scalar multiplication should be the same. That means that's why we need to prove here well definedness of this scalar multiplication. Now let's go ahead to show the well definedness. Yes. Now if we consider a class but two representative, means what? V plus W is same as V dash plus W. Now these two represent same class, but we just change our representative. Suppose V plus W is one and V dash plus W is another representative. Now what we want to show? We want to show that after multiplication of alpha, we must get same result, means alpha into V plus W must be same as alpha into V dash plus W. That we want to show. Now as these cosets are same, okay, if two cosets are same means what? As we have learned in a group theory that HA equal to HB, where HA and HB are the cosets obviously. HA equal to HB when it happens if AB inverse is in H. Now AB inverse means what? There A and dot is there, dot operation was there. Now instead of dot here we have plus operation. AB inverse, B inverse means what? Here inverse is with respect to addition, so inverse for V dash will be minus V dash. So two cosets are equal whenever A, B inverse is in H. H instead of H we have W here. So right now, because these two are equal, one can say that V minus V dash is in W. Okay, by the definition of equality of two classes, you can say this. Okay, now since W is a subspace, and this V minus V dash is an element of W, and if you multiply this alpha with the element of W, you will get again an element of W. That's why alpha into V minus V dash must also be in W, right? Now as it is in W, you can write down this, and after multiplication here distribute this alpha over V minus V dash, we will get alpha V minus alpha V dash. It is in W. If it is in W, then I can write down this as conversely as we did here. Two cosets are equal, then V minus V dash is in W. In the same way, if the subtraction of those two vector is in W, then their cosets like this. Here alpha V plus W, here it should be V instead of X. Alpha V plus W is same as alpha V dash plus W here. But what is this? This is nothing but alpha into V plus W, which is equal to alpha into V dash plus W. That we wanted to show. That's why what happens here, this scalar multiplication is well defined. Now we can go ahead to prove the four axioms of a vector space, right? Now let's see. First axiom is what? If we consider two elements from vector space, say V comma W, and alpha is from field, then alpha into V plus W equal to, we can distribute that. That was the first. So for this, what are the elements of vector V mod W here? V plus W and V2 plus W are the two elements for V1 V2 in V, and let alpha beta is in here. So the first axiom is what? You can here see here, alpha into V plus W plus V2 plus W. We need to distribute this alpha over this. So first of all I need to add these two. I need to add these two cosets. Now addition of these two cosets is nothing but what? We need to add V1 plus V2. So V1 plus V2 plus W. As this is one coset, we know the scalar multiplication. We just multiply that alpha with V1 plus V2 and W as it is here. Now as V1, V2 are the elements of vector space V, and alpha is a element of field F, and V is a vector space. That's why we can multiply here that alpha with V1 plus alpha with V2 plus W. But again this can be this is the addition of two coset of the form alpha V1 plus W plus alpha V2 plus W. Now again you can write down this alpha v1 plus w is nothing but a multiplication of alpha with v1 plus w. Again this one is multiplication of alpha with v1 plus w, right? So this is the first property, or you can say first axiom of vector space. Now next thing is what? We distribute that vector over addition of scalars, right? Now vector is nothing but here v plus w, and alpha plus beta, alpha and beta are the element of field there. So alpha plus beta is one element and this is a scalar, and we know the scalar multiplication. We multiply that scalar with v directly here. Now you can observe here alpha, beta and v. Alpha, beta are the element of F and v is the element of vector space. So you can use the distributivity there. Now again you can write down this separately, which is addition of two cosets, and again these two are the scalar multiplication by alpha to v plus w, scalar multiplication of beta to v plus w. So this is a second axiom. Now let's go ahead for the third axiom. What is the third axiom? See here, alpha into bracket beta of v plus w. Now I need to interchange this big bracket, this bigger bracket with alpha and beta. Okay, first of all I need to multiply this beta with v plus w. So beta v plus w. Again multiply this alpha with beta v. Now as alpha beta is in F and v is in V, we can use that third axiom of that vector space V. So we can interchange this bracket with alpha and beta into V as it is. So alpha beta is a one scalar, you can put it in one bracket. So this will gives us alpha beta into V plus W. So this is the third axiom of vector space, right? Now the fourth axiom is, yes, here it is 1 into V is V. Now V is nothing but coset here, V plus W. So 1 into V plus W is same as, we can multiply this 1 with V only, and 1 into V is V because V is an element of vector space V, right? So what I got here, 1 into V plus W is same as V plus W. This is the fourth axiom of a vector space. Thus what I can say now, I can say that this V mod W forms a vector space over field F, right? That we have collected this in one lemma. Now you can see here, if V is a vector space over F, W is a subspace of V, and then V mod W is a vector space over F with the addition, whatever that addition is here, yes, and this scalar multiplication. And this V mod W is called as a quotient space of V by W. What we call it? V mod W is called a quotient space of V by W. Now let's see one example of this quotient space. For that I need to consider a vector space. See here, let V be a vector space which is a R square over a set of real field, here, and W is what? W is set of all ordered pair such that first coordinate is equal to the second coordinate. Means this W contains all ordered pair of the form 1 1, 1 comma 1, 2 comma 2, and here A will be a real number, A comma A you can say, right? Now how the quotient space will look like here? V mod W equal to what? V plus W, where V is in R square, where R square is nothing but vector space here. Okay, now V is suppose element of this form x comma y, and W is what? A comma B. Now as A comma B is in W, what we should have? A equal to B. So I can write down here A comma A. So x comma y plus A comma A, which is same as x plus A comma y plus A. This is what? This is a quotient space. Now we will see how the cosets of this quotient space will look like. For that, let us consider 2 or 3 elements from vector space. Okay, as V mod W is of this form, this is your V mod W. Now one can observe here that this vector space R square is a plane. Vector space R square is a plane and subspace W is a straight line passing through the origin, right? How? Because W is nothing but, you can observe here, what is W? W is set of all ordered pair such that first coordinate equal to second coordinate. That means it is like y equal to x, line passing through the origin. That's why here subspace W is a straight line passing through the origin. Now the cosets of W in R square, that we will see. Suppose V1 is a vector and V2 and V3. These are also vectors in R square. Now what about V1 plus W? As V1 is 0, 0 and W is a subspace here. If 0, 0 is adding to all elements of W, what we will get? We will get again A, B. So what I will get again? I will get W here. So V1 plus W is W, where V1 is 0, 0. Because V1 is already in W. It is in W already, because W is a subspace, so identity should be there. Now that means what is there? What is happening there? If we add a element of W with all elements of W, then what you will get? You will get again a whole W, right? That's why V1 plus W equal to W, because V1 is a 0, 0 which is in W. Now let's see V2 plus W. I am considering here V2 is as 1, 2 and W is what? Set of all ordered pairs of this form, where A equal to B. A equal to B means I can write down this as A, A. That means 1 plus A, 2 plus A. Now let's see how the geometrically this whole thing will look like. Suppose this is a your say R square. This is your R square. This is vector space, right? Now what is W? W is a subspace, okay, and it is a straight line passing through the origin like this, right? This is a straight line passing through origin. This is your W, okay. Now what is this coset V2 plus W? How it will look like? Now V2 plus W is what? V2 is nothing but 1, 2 and W is A, A. Now 1, 2 will be a point. It will look. It will be where it will be. It will be here, right? Suppose this is 1, 2, and what I am adding there? 1 plus A and 2 plus A. If we add 0 there, then this point will be there, right? Means A equal to 0, then 1, 2 will be there. If A equal to say 1, if A equal to 1, then what I will get? A equal to 1, then 2, 3 will be there. So 2, 3 will be there. So this point will be there. And again, if we add say minus 1, what I will get? Minus 1 means 0. Minus 1, if I add 0, 2. 0, 2 means what? Here the point will be 0. Here see here 0, 1 will be there, because minus this A is nothing but minus 1. Suppose I consider here A is minus 1, so minus plus minus plus get 0, and here you will get 1. So this point will be there. And again, if we consider minus 2, that will be here, right? That's why what I will get here? I will get a line which is passing through that point 1, 2, and that line is what? Parallel to the W. This is one coset, V2 plus W. In the same way, V3 plus W. Now you can observe minus 1, minus 2. Where it lies? It will lie here. Minus 1 is a point and minus 2 means you can observe here, that point will be here, right? Now one can again observe, or you can substitute the values of A as a element of real numbers. So you will get whole line of this form. You will get again a sorry, this is a line. It should be line. Okay, this is a line passing through, or you can say it's a parallel to the original line. That's why here you can observe here that all the cosets, that means element of quotient group, are nothing but those line which are parallel to the this original line, right? So this is the geometrical representation of quotient space of this vector space R2 over W. Thank you.